الآن يمكنكم المشاركة في مبادرة الأيام الرقمية تحت شعار انطلق بقوة مع جوجل، والتي يتناول فيها خبراء جوجل عناوين جديدة أسبوعيا مثل السحابيات، مهارات من جوجل، أندرويد، فلتر، ذكاء الآلة، فايربيس، ديزاين ثينكينج، مقسمة إلى دورات وورشات عمل يومية بالإضافة إلى مسابقات أسبوعية. شاهد الأيام الرقمية مباشرة على اليوتيوب وشارك رأيك وأسئلتك مع خبراء جوجل، واحصل على شهادة حضور في كل محاضرة تشترك فيها. هذا وأكثر من الأحد إلى الخميس ابتداء من الساعة 9 بتوقيت دبي عبر الرابط المبين youtube.com/gdgmina.
Assalamu alaikum. Hi everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm Maryam Alhuthayfi, a professional Android developer at Proven Solution. I'm here to talk about migrating your Compose app to support Material U. Okay, let's take a look at today's session outlines. First, we will talk about what's new in Android 12 System UI. Then we will talk about Material U that is included in Android 12. After that, we will talk about Jetpack Compose and Compose Material Design 3, which also supports Material U. Then we will migrate our Compose app to use Material and Material Design 3 and its features. Finally, I'm going to answer your questions, so please write them down in the comments so I can get back to them at the end of this session. As you can see, a lot has been changed in Android 12 to make the user interface more dynamic, modern, responsive, and polished. You can see the screens and doubt that this is an Android UI. I'm really happy about this change, and I'm really positive about future changes. Yeah, I hope so, at least that there will be more of these changes in the future. So I said that Android 12 is more responsive. You can see the smooth motion and the animation between taps and swipes, and you can see it clearly when scrolling. There is a new stretch over scroll in 12, which replaces the glow effect in other Android versions less than 12. This overscroll behavior is supported if you update your app target SDK. In classic views, you can see those in grid view, list view, recycler view, and view pager. And also in Compose, you can see it in lazy column and lazy row. Another UI enhancement in Android 12 is Material U. And Material U is a set of design system updates that enables more beautiful, personalized expressions. This is based on material design documentation. Android 12 brings Material U to your phone by enabling color theming capabilities to easily personalize device colors and themes. And it does that by generating a full range of colors palette created based on the user wallpaper. And this all happens using a color extraction algorithm. As you can see, those are the colors generated from this wallpaper. You can see here, this is a demo app from Material Design. And the same app changes with different colors based on the user choice. All of these system capabilities are implemented in Android OS and its default apps, some of default apps, but not other apps like our apps. So we need to migrate our apps to implement those new features and to make also the user experience more consistent. And that's what we're going to learn today. All right, this concludes the System UI section. Let's move on to the Jetpack Compose section, which is like my favorite section. For those who don't know, Jetpack Compose is the new Android UI toolkit created to help us developers build better applications faster. Compose is built on top of Kotlin language and it uses modern architectures and powerful Kotlin APIs. It is a declarative UI toolkit, and by declarative, it means that you completely describe what your UI should look like for a given state. Then, the framework should take care of updating the UI when that state changes. We said it's a declarative UI toolkit, and we summarized the declarative approach. Let's talk about the UI toolkit which we'll be using today. Compose implemented the material design components and theming system. This is the material theme API in Material 2, which gives your application a unique experience and appearance by customizing the colors, typography, and shapes. I wrote a medium story in detail about application themes in Jetpack Compose and how to customize them in your application. If you're interested, check it out on this link. Let's get back to material theme. Material theme is enhanced by Material 3. What is Material 3? So, Compose Material 3 is the new Compose library to support Material U. It's in alpha right now. And it includes Material U features like dynamic colors that we are going to talk about in depth today. So, what are the main differences between Material Design 2 and Material Design 3? The main difference is the user generated colors, which are also called dynamic colors. As we said earlier, in Android 12, based on an individual's wallpaper, the color changes for the operating system and some of its default apps. They are dynamically changed through a dynamic color extraction algorithm. Like in this default wallpaper for Pixel 6, as you can see, this is the wallpaper, and the color scheme are generated based on this wallpaper. As you can see here are accent colors and then neutral colors. You can see different color schemes are generated for both light and dark schemes. This is the light scheme and this is the dark scheme. And as you can notice that color primary variant is deprecated in material 3, and there are a set of new colors like tertiary and on tertiary and others. Another main difference in Material 3 is that typography styles are simplified now. Before Material 3, like in Material 2, there were 6 headlines variations, 2 subtitles variations, 2 body variations, button captions, and overline styles. Now in Material 3, here we go. There is a more regular and smaller number of variants for each classification, namely small, medium, and large. As you can see here, display, we have a display with 3 variants, small and medium, large, headline with the 3 variants also, and then the title and the body, and then labels. There are also other major components updates in Material 3 that I'm not going to talk about or mention today because we are going to focus only on the colors and the typography for today's migration. If you want to know more about those updates, please visit this blog by Material Design. So for today, we will migrate the Art Gallery app to support Material U. Art Gallery is an application to display the famous paintings with their information like painting artist and the painting title and the description for each painting. All right, let's start migrating. You can follow along with today's practice by starting on this GitHub repository. You can start with without material you branch, and then um, go along with the coding that I'm gonna present now. To use Material 3 library, we need to add this implementation in our build Gradle file in the dependency section. In the same file, in the Android section, we need to change the compile SDK version and the target SDK version to support and target 31 or later. We also need to add the target API tag in the Android manifest file to target 31. And for that, also we need to specify an explicit value for Android exported for the main activity. Most of our work will be focused on the theme file and where those values are used in the rest of the application. We won't change anything in the color file, but we will change mostly in the theme file. So let's go to the theme file and let's remove our old code or just comment it out. I mean by the old code, the code that has the dark and the light palette code. And then we need to delete the imports where we use material design too. Then we declare our new light and dark schemes. As you can see, mostly we will use gray and teal color variations. Here the primary color will be dark gray and the secondary color will be light gray and the tertiary will be teal for the dark scheme and will be teal for the dark scheme and for the light scheme. As I can see, both of them are the same, and the difference will be the background color, the surface background color, and the on background color. It will be white on the dark theme, and for the light theme it will be a dark gray. Okay, then this is the art gallery theme composable function. It takes a dark theme parameter of Boolean type to determine if the system is set to dark theme or not. Another parameter that it takes is the dynamic color parameter, which is now we set it to true because our application is already targeting Android 12 and we are in the middle of supporting dynamic colors. And the last parameter is the content, where we define our app content in the main activity file. Then we have color scheme variable to define which color scheme to use. Here we defined a when statement to set the color scheme value. The first case is we support dynamic colors and the app is targeting Android SDK or later. In this case, we will use dynamic color scheme. And to use the dynamic color scheme, we will start by defining the context first to pass it later for the dynamic color scheme. Then we can read the parameter dark theme to define which palette to use, which scheme to use, whether the light or the dark schemes. So this is for the apps that are targeting Android SDK or later. For the app that are targeting, or if my application is targeting less than Android SDK, we will use the color we defined earlier. As you can see, we will use those colors. For the dark theme, we will use the dark dark color scheme, the one here, and then else, which is of course the light theme, we will use the light color scheme. Here we are defining the current view to use it to set the status color and the primary, to set this status bar color as the primary color. And also the status bar icons to be dark on the light colors and to be light on the dark colors. We pass the above values to enter material theme composable, but we will get an error from the typography because we haven't migrated those values yet, so let's do that now. For the art gallery application, we are using body large and title large with those values as you can see. So we are using the font family default, and the font weight, as you can see, it's normal, but we have different font sizes for both the body large and the title large. I believe now we are done with setting up the themes for our application. What is left now is to update where are those values used. Then we can update the references for those values. Okay. The best way to start is, of course, you go to main activity. And when we go to the main activity, we want to remove the old imports that uses material design tool. And we will start with the surface background. We will use inverse on surface. Then let's go inside the header composable. So the structure for our application is we have a surface that takes all arts. Inside all arts, we have a header like this header, and then under that header we have cards, and cards that are presented in a lazy column. Okay, for the all arts, we don't have anything to migrate there, so we are going to move to the headers composable. And we will do the same by removing the old import. Then, as you can see, we will be presented with this option to it will be an error. So you need to fix this error. You need to import the library suitable for using those references. So you will need, I want you to make sure that you choose the material 3 library. All right. After importing this library, let's modify the header color and the type scales. For the star icon, as you can see, it will be painted in the secondary color we defined. And the text under that, under the star, will use a large title, and the color for that text will be the value of on background color. The code will be using a large body that we defined in the typography. And also for the color, it will be using the value of on background color. Okay, so here for the set by text, we will use a small title. And also again, we will use the color for the color value will be on background color. So now we covered the star, the art gallery title, and then the code and the set by code. We are finished with the header composable. Let's move to the art card composable. Inside the art card, so just to give you an overview, we are displaying each painting on a card. This card's background is tinted, as you can see here, is tinted with a secondary container. Inside the card, we have an image which does not need to be changed. There is nothing could be done to migrate this image, so we're gonna just skip that. We're gonna move to the text and the title, like the text for the title and the artist. For the painting title, we are using the value of on background color. And for the artist, we are using a large body and the secondary color. Then we move to expand icon with a color filter on background color. And I made it on background color because this is so small. It needs to be it needs to be emphasized. That's why it's matching the text color. So the value for the tint or the color filter for this expand less or more icons will be on background color. Okay, and then we will move on to the description, the painting description, and it will be a small body and on background color also. So we have applied all of those changes. Literally, we have changed the migration. Of course, if you have like a bigger or like a larger application, it will take some time. But yes, this is the migration process, and we are done with migrating our own app. Let's see how our app is looking after supporting Material U. This is Art Gallery with different colorful wallpapers in Android 12. And this is how it looks when enabling the dark theme. And this is how it looks when disabling the dark theme. This is the same application also in Android R. As you can see, both fixed and dynamic colors are supported. You can check the full code on my GitHub or start if you want to refer to it later. Now with the learning. Okay, before we go to the learning, I want to show you a live demo of this application in Android Studio. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the pixel. This is the Material U. As you can see, I don't know if you can see my screen. Yeah, you can. All right, perfect. So this is a demo of this application. You can see this, the cards, and you can see the expand, less and more animation, and all of those. And also, I want to show you the over scroll stretch. Also, let's examine the application by enabling the dark theme. Okay, perfect. Let's see the application. And this is based on this wallpaper. Look how it changes when we change the wallpaper. So I'm gonna change this wallpaper to be this one. Okay, I'm gonna set this wallpaper and let's see our application if it's updated or not. Let's go. Okay, as you can see, it's updated. And also the wallpaper is updated. This is so cool. All right, let's test it here on the light theme. Just to be... Oh my god, it looks amazing. All right, and this is for applications that supports like for Android 12 that supports Material U. What if your application is being run on is being like used in an Android less than Android 12, like this Android R, Android 12, 11. So this is what it will look like. These are this is the same application without the scroll, as you can see the glow there, without the over scroll stretch, but it looks amazing also without the dynamic colors. Yeah, so that's it for this application demo. Let's move on to the learning resources and we can get back to your questions. Okay, perfect. Okay, so just to clarify things, this application implementation applies only to application that uses Jetpack Compose. If your app uses classic views, you can try this code lab for migrating to Material U. Check those videos from Android Dev Summit. They talk about Material U and also Material U and Jetpack Compose together. And finally, more resources to learn about Jetpack Compose. We have the Compose pathway. It's perfect. All of the Compose resources are there. And then we have the Compose samples, which is the GitHub repository, which contains all of the Compose samples. Um, and then we have the Compose documentation, the Slack group, and also the feedback. So you can report bugs and I don't know, request features maybe. All right, time to take your questions. Please leave your questions in the comments so I can answer them. Hmm. So one of the so Abdurrahman says the link is not working in Egypt. I believe that we can add all the links that were shared in today's session in the description box, or I will be adding the slides to my website. I'm gonna share my website right now with you so you can visit the session section and you can see all the slides. Hmm. All right, how about so any other questions? All right, I really appreciate you being there. Thank you so much for attending. I really appreciate it. Uh, Thanks. And if you have anything, just let me know. This is my Twitter account, my Twitter handle. You can contact me there directly to chat and I don't know, speak about Compose things. Thank you so much. This is it for today. And yeah, I want you to use Compose. Let's see those creative themes that you come up with. Thank you so much. Have a good day or have a good evening wherever you are. Thank you so much. Bye. Oh, okay. Before